So in our last sessions, we learn about data types, DDL and DML, and select clause and join operators. Okay. In this HANA tutorial, we almost covered these concepts in our last sessions. So today we are going to learn few more concepts, which are kind of advanced concepts, which we use in day-to-day life. Okay. Means it is better to have knowledge on all these SQL statements, how to use and all. So the first one is create table. So already we seen how to create a table. Okay. But here how to create a table using select statement. Okay. In our previous sessions, we learned how to write a create table statement. So when how to write create table. So create table followed by table name, and then the structure of the table we are defining it. Okay. This is one way of creating a table. First of all, before creating a table, first of all, we need to prepare what are the columns you expecting in your table and their data types. You must be ready with this requirement. Okay, once you have these information, then it is easy for you to create the table, by using this SQL statement. But sometimes we may come across a situation where you already have a table. So for example, if we see here on my slide, so I already have one table called sales underscore 2. Okay. And for testing purpose, what you want to do is, so you want to do some testing on this table or adding some records for your testing purpose and all. So you want to create a new table. In that scenario, instead of writing that create statement, instead of writing that create statement, defining your table manually, you can complete this activity by using this simple statement. Okay. So create table. So same way. So if you want to create any table, so that must starts with create table followed by table name. And after that, generally we provide the structure of the table. But instead of providing the structure of the table, you can write statement in this way. After table name as select star from your old table. So what you are doing here, you are creating a new table by using existing table. Okay. So you are copying the existing table into new table. Simply we can say that way. Okay. You have already sales underscore 2 table. You are simply copying this table into a new table using this as select star from. So I written the same thing on the top here. If you want to create a new table similar to existing table, you can create it simply using select statement along with create table. Okay. So how exactly this works means, first of all, what is there within the brackets, this statement will execute. Okay. So when you are trying to execute this statement on HANA, what is happening is the one which is on brackets will execute first. So what it happens, select star from sales underscore 2 table. It means this particular select statement returns my 6 rows of data. Okay. And my 6 rows of data along with the structure, you see document number created on structure also I'm coming here, right? Now this table, new table sales underscore 3 will be created based upon all this information. Okay. So here I try to execute after this statement. If I try to execute data in sales underscore 3, now whatever data already present in my sales underscore 2, same data also copied into my new table. So with this one single statement, you are creating a table and you are copying data also. So for example, your sales underscore 2 table contains 1 million records. This statement will copy those 1 million records also into your new table. Okay. So this is how it works. So now let's see practically how it is. Okay. So now I am in HANA Studio. I am in HANA Modeler. Okay. I am selecting my schema, HANA user schema, because I am from HANA user here. I am selecting my schema and then I am clicking on SQL command prompt. So here, so let's see. First of all, to understand this one, we need one existing table. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my existing table sales underscore 1. Right click, open content. So I have a table sales underscore 1 with this kind of information. And if you see here, I don't have sales underscore 3 table in my list. Now what I am going to do is I am going to create a table. Let me write everything in capital. create table. Okay, create table. So table name. So just I'm dragging my table name here, one of the existing tables, so that to get my schema name followed by table name. So I'm going to create sales underscore 3 table. Okay. After that, generally I need to provide the structure of the table, but instead of providing structure, I'm writing as bracket open select star from my existing table sales underscore 1. So now what will happen is first this statement will run. After that, based upon the output, this table will be created. Okay. So I am clicking on execute button. You see statement below here. When we execute, we can see what was the output. So statement create table is successfully executed. So now if I refresh my schema now, because it under my tables, right? Under my schema, under tables, a new table will be created. I am refreshing it now. You see sales underscore 3 was created. If I right click on it, open content, I can see data also. Nice, right? So we have data, means table created along with data also copied, all the data copied from my original table into my copy table. Okay, so this is one of the usage. So let's go to next topic. This is the first one, copy with data. So what is next? So create table using select a copy without data. So sometimes you may have a requirement to create a table, but you don't want to copy data. Maybe this table contains 1 million records, but you need a table, but you don't want to create, add data also. If you want to, satisfy this kind of scenario, so we use same statement. Anytime, if you want to copy existing table into new table, you can use this same statement. But if you don't want data to be copied, by having this one where condition, you can restrict the data not to coming into new table. Okay, by using one where condition, where 1 equal to 2. What will happen is where condition will work on each and every record on our table. Okay, so even in single select statement also, what will happen? For example, let's see. If you write simple select statement, okay, what will happen? Select statement will fetch information from the table. Okay, how it is, since there is no where condition, system is fetching all the data from a table. If you write where condition, for example, where material is equal to M1, if you written this one, then how this exactly statement works? It works like for each and every record in my table, system checks whether material is M1 or not. If it is M1, it will display this record. Second record M2, so it is not equal to M1, system doesn't display this record. So sequentially, it will process all the records. Wherever this where condition satisfies, system displays only that information. Okay, now means this condition where condition is true, must be true. So where, if where returns complete true statement, boolean operator true, then the record will be displayed on the screen. When I use where condition is 1 equal to 2, which is always false, means for every record in my table, my where condition is false, so data doesn't comes. Okay, you see, if I execute this statement, you see none of the records are coming on my output. Why? Because for each and every record, system tries to check this where condition, which is false, then system doesn't print any output on your screen. Okay, now using this kind of select statement, we can create table with only structure without data. Create table. So I want to create one new table now. Sales underscore 4, as within the brackets, you need to write this select statement. Okay, so now what happens? You see, create table statement successfully executed. Now if I refresh my schema or table section, you see sales underscore 4 was created. If I right click on it, open content, There is no data, only structure is there, but there is no data in my table. Means table created, but no data is there. So this is how to achieve. So we learned two topics. One is creating table using select statement and creating a new table without data, with data and without data. Okay, going to next topic. So create table using selector, copy selected data. So sometimes you may, so now we seen with data, without data, but sometimes we may have a requirement to create a new table with partial information, for means with some records in it, not all. For example, you have a table with 1 million records, but you want to create a copy table, but to save the database you don't want to copy all data. You need only current month data, or first 10 records or something like that. You want to restrict your data while copying into new table. In this scenario, so what we can do, simply same way we can do, create table as select star from. In the where condition, pass whatever condition you want. So if you want to copy data where material is equal to M1 into your new table, simply write material is equal to M1. This way what will happen? Only M1 data will move into your new table. Okay, I'm executing this one. So executed successfully. And then I am refreshing my 1 second filter sales underscore. My new table got created. Right click, open content. You see a new table created, but with only copied only M1 data. Okay, so by passing where condition as per your requirement, you can copy only required data set into your new table using this syntax. I hope it is clear. So this is also so the same I written here, create table as select star from with the where condition. Okay, so this gives you a clear understanding how this works. Now, so by this now creating table by using a copy table by using another select statement is completed. So mostly we will use these three scenarios. Okay. Done. So now what we are going to do is we are going to learn about drop table. What is drop table? So drop statement can be used to delete the table from the database. Okay, so for example, for your testing purpose, you created some test tables. So these are all some test kind of tables. Okay, now after your testing completed, you want to delete these tables from your database, because keeping text objects in the system will make our system junk. So that's the reason we need to clean up the database. Okay, with by deleting unnecessary objects. So how we can do it? So what was the syntax for drop? Drop table, table name. So this is a one-way process. Once you created, you cannot undo it. Okay, drop table. For example, sales underscore 5. I don't want to need it. Execute. You see, drop table successfully executed. If I refresh my folder, you see it's gone. Sales underscore 5 is gone. Okay, in the same way I want to delete sales underscore 4 3 also for later use. So now I have only two tables, sales underscore 1 and sales underscore 2 for further learnings. This is how to create how to use the drop statement. So what is next one? Next one is delete statement. So what is delete? What is drop? Drop is used to delete the table. Okay, but delete statement we use to delete the data from the table, not the table, to delete data from the table, to delete the records from the database table. Okay, for example, now what we do is let's create a new table. Okay, create a table 3 as select star from my second table. So I created a new table sales underscore 3 with all the information from the sales underscore 2 table. Okay, now how many records are there in my sales underscore 3? Open content. You see I have where condition is there, right? Okay, fine. So I have 3 records in my sales underscore 3 table. Now what I want is, now this whatever data I have in my table, I want to clean up the data and reload again freshly. Okay. So if you want to clean your data from the table, how you can do? So by using this statement, see here by using these two lines now, you can comment your code on the from the SQL. Okay. Or else you can delete it if you don't want. So now what next? I'm explaining about delete statement. So delete. Okay, let me explain here. Delete from table name. Okay. After that, if you don't give anything, it will delete all data. If you give where condition, it will delete the records where this condition is satisfying. Okay. So delete from table name where material is equal to M2. So you see this here in my sales underscore 3 table, do I is there any data with the material M2? No data is there. So if I try to execute this statement, delete records where material is equal to M2, what will happen? This statement will be executed successfully because syntactically there is no error here. Okay. But in the table, since we don't have any data with M2, no changes you can see. Okay. But whenever you keep M1 here, what will happen? So now system try to delete all data from the sales 3 where all data means data where this M1 condition is satisfying. So in my data table, I have these many records. So sorry, if I execute this statement, where material, what it is saying, say ending material line 1, material. Okay, something wrong, system garbage errors, I think. Okay, but you see, my statement was executed successfully. Okay, now if I go to my sales underscore 3 table and refresh here, you see all the data got deleted because my table contains only M1 data, so it deleted all data. Okay, so to explain one more time, 1 second, drop table. Let me explain one more time, okay, with one more example. Okay, so if we see my sales underscore 3 table now, it contains 6 records. In my 6 records, I have data for M1, M2, and M3. Correct? Now what I am going to do is, I am going to write delete statement on this table. Delete table sales 3, and I am using where condition where material is equal to M1. So what happens? From my 6 records, 1, 2, 3 records will be deleted and only 3 records will present after this statement. So I am executing this statement. What happened? Sorry, delete table, not delete table, delete from. Okay, here delete from. Okay, and then execute. So now go to your sales 3, refresh your table. You see now only 3 records are there and there are no more M1 materials in my table. So this way you can use delete statement. For example, if you are not passing any where statement here, simply system will delete all the data from your table. Okay, without any check condition, system will try to delete all data from your table. I'm executing this statement. If I'm going to my sales 3, refresh, you see all data deleted from my table. So you may come across in your in your development environment or somewhere, when creating some test objects, some project objects. So better to have knowledge on all these SQL commands. So delete is completed. So going to next statement, alter. Okay. So far we covered about, delete statement, drop table, and create copy table. Okay. So I can say these three statements are covered so far. Okay. And in our next session, we will see how to, work with alter command. Okay. I'm stopping recording.